Political chaos in France, riots on the streets. What's really going on and what are the reasons behind it? Let me dive into it. So I'm Anne, the little Frenchie in Big Texas. I'm actually not in Texas right now. I am in France. What you see behind me is beautiful landscape. I'm in the south of France and the Mediterranean Sea is like right there, 100 meters after the buildings and the trees. So I'm right here having my breakfast on the terrace, reading the news, and I thought I would comment and explain what's really going on in France. So we are early September and people are just back to work, pretty much back to school, back to work. Summer, not much is happening in France. August, everybody is off on vacation, gone, except for Emmanuel Macron, who did a very quick round trip to Washington to see Trump with other European leaders. He left his vacation house pretty much round trip and back. But aside from that, not much is happening. But before the vacations, the current government made a few proposals, economical proposals, because the issue right here is that France is economically not doing good. We are way in deficit. Government is not balancing the budgets and has not been balancing the budget for years, and the deficit is growing. And at this pace, we are pretty much heading to where Greece was years back. So it's pretty bad. We got our grade, our rating downgraded, I believe, not that long ago. And we have to do something about it. So the first, if you remember back in time, Emmanuel Macron, so it's his second term, and it's not his first prime minister. He already had a few who tried and failed, and he did not pass parliament. And when parliament does not vote for what you're proposing as a prime minister, you pretty much have to quit. And this is what they are expecting to happen next Monday, September 8th. So the current prime minister, his name is François Bayrou, a guy from the south of France. He's not too very right, not too very left. He's kind of in the middle here, trying to find a compromise, because that's all it's about, compromising. You have an extreme right, extremely powerful in France, who does not want to give in, and you have a rising extreme left who doesn't want to give in either. So the government is trying to compromise to make his proposals go through. So what are we talking about? I think the top proposal that's raising a lot of concerns is to have people work more. So the whole thing is work more and spend less. So government has to do its part, spend less, but people also have to work more. And the government proposal is to take out 2 holidays per year. So France has a lot of holidays, not just Christmas, New Year. We have a few here and there during the years. The month of May is full of what we call bridges, meaning the Friday is given because Thursday is off. So it's a 4-day weekend. And government wants to take out 2 of these days. I believe one for close to Easter and one in June. Of course, people don't want it. Of course. But the proposal was either that or go back to 36 hours a week work day. So right now, official working time in France is 35 hours a week, not 40, 35. So government had the option to go to 36, and they decided against it and instead take 2 holidays away. But people don't want it. The extreme left doesn't want it. So it's like, it's not going through. They're trying, but that's one of the main topics they're contesting. There are others, proposals on how to cut costs. They want to decrease, for instance, insurance, health insurance for illegal migrants, because in France, everybody can have free health care pretty much, even if you're an illegal migrant. And apparently, from what I read, this healthcare included some balneo spa, when you go to the seashore to bath in bubbles to decrease your stress level, or if you've got some back pain and so on. Well, that was included as well. So as a French person, I never knew how to do it. I would have loved to have a free week spa on the seashore, but then illegal migrants can get it? No. So they're trying to, few things here. It includes also not increasing the social security, retirement, and so on. So there are a lot of measures here that are not popular. Vote is expected on Monday, and as of today, they're expecting it to fail, meaning the Prime Minister will have to resign with the whole government. Again, France with no government. I mean, you're really wondering what's going on. What's happening with our governments worldwide. But Macron is already thinking of the next person, pretty much. He's just got to hold 2 more years. I think the next presidential elections are 2027, where we're expecting the two extremes to go further in the vote. We will see who will represent the extreme right, but depending on who it is, it might have a pretty big chance of winning. But that's where we stand. So Monday, the vote, where we're expecting chaos at the General Assembly, Parliament. And you know how it is, you don't want a crisis go to waste, and that's supposed to be a good crisis here. So the extreme left has called on a major strike to happen on Wednesday, so September 10. Pretty disorganized strike as of today, but we still have a few days for them to get organized. They're probably going to strike as the usual public transportation, so the train, the subway. Let's see if the schools will be impacted, but Wednesday, public schools usually are off. So we will see, but yeah, they're calling for a major strike. So chaos after chaos, that's what's going to happen. People are going to march on the street. Hopefully it won't get violent, but it could. So I'm expecting France to make some pretty big headlines next week, and not good headlines, unfortunately. But when we talk about the economy, what I noticed during my trip here is tourism is working its full blast in France. Everything is extremely busy. So I was in Paris at the end of August, full of tourists. Also decent wait time at Notre Dame. It wasn't that bad, but you could, tourists were everywhere. Paris was full. And then we went to the Mont Saint-Michel, so it's on the north coast, pretty much between Normandy and Brittany. Also, I believe it belongs to Normandy, but it's right there in between. And it was packed. But packed like I've never seen it. It was, if I had known, I would not have gone, honestly. It's just tourist car after tourist cars. Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, Germans, full of Europeans, a few French, not just foreigners, but full of tourists. So tourism is working really well. So that's money coming in for France, but not enough. And the more of these strikes and government meltdown, it's not good publicity for tourism here. That's really not positive for the country. So let's see what happens. In the meantime, we are here in the south of France. As you can see, it is beautiful weather. So we are enjoying. It's pretty peaceful given people are back at work. Kids are back at school. You mostly have older people here or very, very little kids because school here starts, well, it's kind of daycare, but free daycare at 3. So it's really small kids that are left. But yeah, enjoying the south, and hopefully no strike on our way back to the US here. We cross fingers and we wait and see what's going to happen Monday, what's going to happen Wednesday. What I saw in the news, I've got my tablet right there, is another big catastrophe actually in Western Europe. You probably heard of it. It happened in Portugal, Lisbon. They have these very old trams that go up the hill in the city of Lisbon. It's part of the touristic attraction, extremely well known. If you're a tourist, you have to have done the tram. You cannot go through Lisbon without trying it. It's kind of like San Francisco, the same kind of system, but probably not as well maintained. We still have to wait for the investigation, but one of them just collapsed into a building, completely crashed, destroyed. And the initial head count, the number of injured and dead yesterday was not that bad, but when I opened it this morning, it's really bad. I believe we're up to 15 people dead and more of these injured, and some of them critically. So it's pretty big disaster here. Talking about tourism, but hitting tourism in Western Europe. So yes, when you do anything, make sure it's before you step in, think about it twice. Is it in a country that maintains it properly? We'll see. We'll see of the investigation on that one. But yes, from what I remember, 20 years ago, they were pretty old, and yeah, I would not have put my but I did it. I went on it and I enjoyed it. It crosses the city. It's a beautiful trip. Unfortunately, for some people, it was their last trip. So here you go, guys. Quick update from the south of France. Just wanted to say hi. I have not been on YouTube too much, but I have tons of content coming up when I return. So stay tuned. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. More to come. Stay tuned. Thank you all for watching.